Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So they're back with a Varus top build. Now I did mention in my updated complete guide a couple days ago that I do think that this top build is actually really good. And of course today we're going to be covering that one as promised, and I'm going to go through how it works and why it's good. So basically, the core of the build is Essence Reaver and Triforce. Of course, before that, you go for Gluttonous Grease for the Omnivam and the AD. So first up, Essence Reaver. So why is Essence Reaver good? Well, basically, it solves two of your problems with its passive, right? So first up, you get the Mana Siphon passive, giving you missing mana on hit. And of course, we all know Varus has really huge mana problems. Now, this is not going to resolve it completely, but it's going to make the situation a lot better by allowing you to restore mana, especially when you're low on it. Secondly, the Essence Flare passive. So this basically empowers one of your abilities to deal extra damage, and the main ability you want to use this on is your Q. So how does that help? Well, basically with that you can basically one-shot waves with your Q. Other than that, you can also use it to poke enemies very well. So basically this one item, Essence Reaver, just enables Varus to really get poke in, and it's great in matches where teams are just kind of walking around objectives, no one is going in, and people are just poking each other. This is where Essence Reaver is really good. Stat line pretty good as well. Of course, we have Triforce, which also gives you a really good stat line. I think one of the best parts of Triforce is giving you the 250 health, because on ADCs you generally don't build health. So with the 250 health, you actually become a lot more tanky than what people would expect. Of course, also you get a lot of like ability haste stats. You get 20 abilities here, 25 here, another 15 here, another 25 here. So a lot of ability haste. This allows you to spam your abilities a ton. And of course, between spamming your abilities, you can also auto attack, or you will, of course, auto attack to, of course, not just stack up your blight, but also to proc your Spellblade passive on Triforce. So these items synergize very well together. And then we have Riftmaker, which is kind of the only one that doesn't really tie into abilities all that much, but it's just a generally very good item on Varus. You get a very nice stat line. Again, you get even more health, so again you get more tanky, and you deal more damage as well. You get Omnivam, which of course helps you out a ton. Whether you're auto-attacking or casting abilities, it is going to just heal you up. And true damage from the Void Corruption passive, always going to be a good thing. Varus already kills tanks really easily from his passive blight, and this is going to make it even easier. Of course, doing true damage to squishies is even more devastating. And then we have a really interesting one, right? So we have Spear of SHOJIN, and at first I was kind of thinking like, Spear of SHOJIN, a little bit of a weird item to build on Varus, but hey, that actually works out pretty well. So first up, again, you get another 300 max health. So from all of your items collectively, you get 250 from here. And then you get another 150 from here, putting you to 400. And then you get another 300 from here. So you got 700 extra HP, which is something that a lot of ADCs will never have, right? Most ADCs build completely no health. So with this build, not only do you do a lot of damage, but you also have a lot of health. So that's why I actually think this build can be the best build in certain circumstances, and the on-hit build is also the best build in certain circumstances. I mean, to be honest, all of Varus's builds are could be the best in a circumstance, right? Because that's why he's so flexible, right? So yeah, but this build is really insane. So again, you get another 25 ability haste, 50 AD, which is really decent, and a bit of movement speed. So here we get very interesting. We got Dragon's Awakening passive. So what it does is increases ability haste of your basic abilities for 25 by 25% for 10 seconds after you use your ult. So of course, with Varus in huge team fights, you're generally going to use your ult first to get your blight and to spread the chains for extra CC and such. So with that, you're gonna proc the Dragon's Awakening on Spear of SHOJIN, and you're gonna get lower cooldowns on your basic abilities, which of course, as we know on Varus, your cooldowns are decently long, so getting a cooldown refund in your basic ability is gonna be really great. And then you also get bonus movement speed to either run people down or to just run away. And then when you get a takedown, it's going to of course extend the duration by 4 seconds. So it just works out really well for Varus if you really think about it, right? Because you start off with your ulti and then you're using all your abilities, then you get takedowns, and then you extend the duration of Spear of SHOJIN's passive. And finally, for your last item, we actually have Moral Reminder. You get Armor Penetration and Grievous Wounds. As an added benefit, the 25% crit is going to help scale up your Essence Reaver just by that tiny little bit. For the runes, we go for Phase Rush. Phase Rush, of course, gives you that extra movement speed, as well as, really importantly, giving you that cooldown refund on your basic abilities, which, as I mentioned just now, is really good for Varus. Then we have Brutal, of course, for the extra auto attack damage. Giant Slayer generally is the best, because generally they're going to be health builders on every enemy team. Here we have Alacrity, just to attack a little bit more quickly, because we don't really have a lot of attack speed in this build. We pretty much only have Triforce. The rest, like, we don't really have any other attack speed in the build, so we really need the Alacrity. And we have Bone Plating for the defensive capabilities. And finally, we have Flash together with Ghost as our summoner spells. But with all that covered, let's jump into our gameplay. Alright, so putting what I just said into practice, we can kind of see how this is going to work out in a real game as usual. Now, I do think that there is a reason why a lot of top players are using this build. I think the Essence Reaver into Triforce is a very strong combo. And actually, to be honest, I think it's a lot to do with the Essence Reaver, because just that extra Essence Reaver damage on Q helping with your wave clear and your poke is just going to be good in general, which is why even in the Lethality build, you start off with Essence Reaver. I think Essence Reaver is one of Varus's best items. Now, I say that, but you don't really build that when you build AP or on hit, because you don't really want to waste time, building an extra item before your actual on hit or AP item, so you don't really go for that. But in general, if you ever want to do a Varus mixed build, like let's say, of course Varus can mix up all of his builds. So for example, you can do Lethality into AP, or you can do like AP into on hit, like just things like that, right? Generally, your first item is always going to be Essence Reaver, because Essence Reaver is just a good item on Varus regardless of build that you go. I mean, even if you build on hit, right? Just having an Essence Reaver first item, just for the extra wave clear and the extra like damage on your poke, it's still gonna be good. Just that if you're already committing to on hit, why not just build all your on hit items and why waste time building a non on hit item, right? So yeah, definitely I think the core of the build is the Essence Reaver, and then Triforce is just really a huge stat stick item, right? You get health, you get attack speed, you get a little bit of AD, you get a ton of ability haste, and you also get Spellblade passive, right? Spellblade just works very well with Varus in general, because you don't have to particularly think of proccing it, but it just goes with his play pattern, right? You have to auto attack to stack up Blight on Varus anyway before you pop your abilities, and then when you pop your actual abilities, of course you want to auto attack as well. So for example, at the start of a combo, you might just launch your E to apply the anti-heal and just a little bit of poke. You're gonna auto attack next to stack up Blight before you use your W and or your Q, right? So it just kind of makes sense whatever which way you want to think about it. You don't even have to really think about proccing Spellblade. So Triforce is just a really solid item in general, as is of course Riftmaker, as I covered. And Spear of SHOJIN is really the kind of a little bit of a question mark for me in the beginning, and then afterwards is kind of where we kind of saw how it really worked. And yeah, so here we are gonna be laning against a Caitlyn Seraphine lane, which should be, I guess I should say, should be a pretty aggressive lane with Caitlyn poking and Seraphine poking. However, you can see we've constantly been able to actually so-called win the lane against them, because Varus has decent poke as well, and Morgana also has like okay kind of poke, right? She pretty much has guaranteed poke with Morgana. However, the poke doesn't really do all that much damage unless you actually land the root. So here, not too exciting. We're just pretty much farming, general ADC things. Here, Lee Sin's coming in for the gank, kicks Seraphine away. Now here I flash to guarantee that I kill her. Now I don't actually think I needed to flash. I think that if I just W and full charge my arrow there, I think I would have killed her anyway. However, number one, I think she could possibly have lived on 1 HP. And number two, going for max range arrows, it's really fun to snipe people and all, but it's of course really easy to dodge, right? Because if you're ever doing anything max range, it generally means that the enemy team has a lot larger reaction time. For example, if I hit an arrow against someone who's like in melee range versus someone who is like max range, the melee range guy is gonna get hit like majority of the time, like let's say 9 out of 10 times, right? But the max range guy, maybe he's gonna get hit only 5 out of 10 times, right? So you kind of want to guarantee the hits if you can, and in this case I think flashing to guarantee the hit is actually going to be worth it, because getting that early kill is going to help you snowball, and I think that just using the flash for that, I think it's a good use of the flash. But of course, it is possible to get the kill without the flash, so you could argue that it is not actually worth it, but it's kind of up to you, right? So anyways, here we see Tryndamere doing the Krug, so we definitely don't want to be sticking around near the enemy team's tower where, we can get ganked by Tryndamere. Now, Tryndamere actually misses, Seraphine actually misses the ulti here, and we actually are able to proc Phase Rush there by auto-attacking Tryndamere twice and then hitting Seraphine to actually hightail it out of there, and we're actually absolutely fine after getting ganked by Tryndamere. Tryndamere has redirected his efforts to the mid lane and to the Brand and the Lee Sin. And now we're back into the 2v2 lane. So aside from a gank from Lee Sin, not too much action going on here, which is completely fine. Varus is pretty much strong at all stages of the game. Now, I do think he is strong in the early game, he's strong in the mid game, he is strong in the late game, but of course, as kind of a trade-off for being strong at every stage of the game, you're not as strong as the strong champions, right? Like, Varus cannot compete with, let's say, Kalista or Draven in the early game, and you can't compete with, let's say, like a Zeri or a Jinx in the late game, right? But he is going to be above a lot of champions in all phases of the game. It's just that he is going to be below some champions at every stage of the game, because, Jack of all trades is the master of none. Just balancing philosophy. So here, Seraphine gets caught. Here is the chance for us to go in. We destroy her basically, and Caitlyn actually just heck cares and just eats the root. So we're just gonna run her down, and here we actually this time have to do the snipe. I mean, we don't have to. We had flash, but this time we trust ourselves with the snipe, and we are able to take her out. And then we are able to now get a reset for the Essence Reaver. Now, we could have actually stayed to push that wave, because we do know where Zed and Tryndamere both are, so it's not very likely we're going to get ganked from either of them. But with the wave state neutral, it's definitely a good opportunity to back, and we're just going to go back to an even wave state anyway, so nothing gained, nothing lost. And in fact, we can here just basically one-shot the wave with Essence Reaver now and force the enemy team to be stuck under tower. We might even be able to force a plate or two, so here we are able to force one plate. Now I see the Dragon Dance one, and I know that I'm dead here, right? Because I know Tryndamere and Seraphine are both coming in, and here I was trying to trade the kill onto Caitlyn before I die, but unfortunately I got disrupted by Seraphine ulti, which is a good ulti by Seraphine. One of the irritating things about Varus Q is it's a channel ability, so a lot of things can disrupt channel abilities, right? Like Soraka, Silence, any kind of CC really, and her Q is a lot of his damage, so as a result, you are going to lose out on a lot of damage if you're not able to hit Q. I believe if I hit my Q there, Caitlyn definitely dies, but unfortunately, that was not to be. So I was not able to trade the kill, in fact, and I pretty much just died just like that. But, hey, it is what it is, right? Can't really, avoid it sometimes. So now we're back into the lane, back to farming. And Caitlyn is trying to escape. And here you can see her back gets cancelled because we see Brad and Morgana kind of walking up to her. Here I'm pretty much just clearing the wave and kind of forcing her to stay because she doesn't want to stay, and because she wants to reset and get items, right? But I'm forcing her to stay by pushing in the wave. And here I'm in this very aggressive position again. I free hit onto Seraphine a little bit, and here with Seraphine 1 HP, I'm able to actually kill her. I get the phase rush proc and I get the kill onto the Caitlyn, and I pop my ghost to run away because no more phase rush movement speed as he has run out. But yeah, we're able to kill both of them right before Tryndamere arrives, and we're able to escape from him as well. So pretty beautiful play right there. Puts us to 5-1, and puts us at a really decent goal lead against the Caitlyn at least. We definitely have the most goal on our team by like 1k margin. However, if you take a look at the situation, Zed has like 800 more gold than us, and he is really fed, right? He's building Youmuu's into Triforce, and he's about to complete his Triforce real soon. So we're definitely a little bit, I wouldn't say in trouble, but we definitely will not have an easy game this game, right? Varus has no mobility, really easy to die to Zed. Tryndamere is coming up, as we can see. I'm trying to run away. I'm going to flash out of the way. Tryndamere decides to switch target to Morgana, who also flashes out of the way. Seraphine gets caught here, and we nearly kill her, but unfortunately, again, she lives on 1 HP. But Morgana is able to clean up both the kills on her as well as the Tryndamere, who was not able to pop his ult in time. A very common Tryndamere mistake. Popping her out too late, or basically not popping her out too late, but not being able to pop her out at all because you tried to, delay it. But yeah, so here Caitlyn is in no man's land. She's pretty much dead. Lee Sin comes in and ults her. I don't think you needed to ult there, buddy. I think an auto attack would suffice, or 2 auto attacks would suffice. But yeah, Lee Sin just uses his ult a little bit willy-nilly there, but yeah. So here, since we have Brand in the bot lane, I'm just gonna go mid lane and farm the mid lane wave. So the farm is kind of not wasted, because bot lane, not bot lane, top lane where I used to be at, of course, has a Zed and a Seraphine there, so I'm not quite interested in that. Here I'm ghosting myself away from the Zed. Now here I actually make a mistake by going back in, because I was thinking maybe I can kill the Zed, but I don't do nearly enough damage. I actually am really close. I think if I committed my ult there, I would have been able to kill him, but as a result, now I make a real big mistake, because now Tryndamere is running me down and I have nowhere to go. So I think that the real mistake I made there is not going back in for the Zed. It's not committing my ult to the Zed, right? I got really greedy there. I was thinking that, you know, maybe let's just test the Varus a little bit, see how much damage I did to Zed. And I actually did a really good amount of damage to him. So if I had actually ulted him there, I would definitely have killed him and gone his shutdown if he still has one. Because he's 5-2 and 3. He might have died, you know, in between his kills. So he might not even have a shutdown. But either way, killing Zed is definitely something we want to do, right? And now our whole team is kind of falling behind. If you take a look, we're 4k gold behind collectively. You know, Nasus, Tryndamere, and Zed are all kind of around 9k gold, which is kind of horrendous. And speaking of Nasus here, we're trying to deal with him, but we get 3-man charmed, and Nasus is now in melee range of us. Here, you can see I'm basically just using my Blight stacks to just pop them to really kind of damage him. Here, if I hit that, he would have died, but unfortunately, once again, I'm not able to hit. As I sit max range, snipes are satisfying to hit, but you don't hit them all the time, so that's really dangerous. Now here Zed comes in, and here, again, this time I commit my ult. But however, this time, the issue is that I'm not able to kill him in time, and I do end up dying instead, and Lee Sin is eventually able to actually kill him. So he does get that. And very funnily enough, Lee Sin is flaming the team at this point and saying that the whole team sucks, except for Morgana. But it's not like he's really doing that well either. I mean, sure, he is 5-5 and 2, he has decent amount of gold, but it's not like he's carrying us, right? In fact, he just recalled right there in front of them and just died like that. So, so yeah. Anyways, here we have a 1v1 with Darius and Tryndamere about to become a 2v1. And Darius here, I get what he's trying to do, right? He's trying to flash onto Seraphine to get the passive on her and then ult her and get a reset. But unfortunately, Seraphine has a little bit too much survivability there. I can't believe I'm saying that, but he does have a little bit too much survivability there for that to work, and Darius ends up dying to Tryndamere. Now here I see Nasus on the way. I definitely don't want to go anywhere near him, not alone, because Nasus is going to just wither me and just kind of run me down. So that is not a good thing for sure. So now we're just rotating around the map, just trying to find farm. So here mid lane wave is coming in, we're going to grab that. And here I'm thinking, should we go and stop the Nasus, right? Because the thing is that Baron is spawning really soon. And if we overcommit onto Nasus, it's a free Baron for the enemy team. But at the same time, if we don't commit to him, he's going to get an inhibitor. So here I decide to basically not commit to the Nasus, but to just clear the wave. And we can see all the enemies are actually fighting down there at the red buff, right? So we know they're not doing Baron at least. However, our team have all died at the red buff fight, which means that the enemy team can now do a Baron for free. Because whether or not we stop Nasus, you know, the enemy team can just do Baron. Even if me and Morgana go to Baron, you know, we're still not going to be able to stop them, right? Unless we have a miracle Varus steal with the arrow, which does happen from time to time. But it appears the enemy team is not doing that, because we saw Tryndamere briefly on Vision at the red buff area, Zed is pushing in here, and Nasus is pushing in over there. So I think that they're not actually doing Baron. So here Nasus pops the Ghost, is trying to run away, for now at least. Here we're trying to chase him down, just whacking him basically. We missed the arrow by a mile because he flashes away. We root him and flash away ourselves because we don't want to get thumped by him. And we're able to actually hit a snipe here and finally take him out. So here now I was thinking enemy team is probably doing Baron right now. So we probably lost a Baron from that. But here we see Zed and Seraphine there. So they were not even doing Baron. Thankfully for us, the enemy team has horrible macro and is not doing Baron whatsoever. So here I even switched to defensive boots. Because at this point, pretty much all of the enemy team is doing physical damage except Seraphine, who is not actually building damage at all. So I think, you know, physical damage boots, physical defense boots, sorry, is pretty much the best way to go here. Another snipe onto Caitlyn for a little bit of a KS. And now Tryndamere is running us down, right? So here, unfortunately, the Blast Plant pushes Morgana and Lee Sin away. So I become the new target, so I'm going to have to run away. And now I'm just hitting him from wherever I can, and he actually survives. I see a low HP Zed here who basically used all his mobility. I'm thinking that this is a free kill, but he flashes the wall, which is annoying to say the least. I probably should have charged my arrow there and just sniped him out instead of using my E to guarantee the hit. You know, sometimes you have to kind of weigh between aiming your Q and just using your E, because your E, if you really think about it, is really hard to miss, because it's a huge area. As long as you're close enough to actually hit it, it's pretty much a guarantee hit. But now we are the ones doing Baron. Zed's 1 HP, he can't contest. And Tryndamere is dead, Seraphine is dead, so pretty much it's only Caitlyn and Nasus that can contest. Nasus is trying, but he can't really do anything, right? So here, he's just getting, you know, chain CC'd by us, and he eventually does get killed because he's tanking, you know, 4 people's worth of damage. And Bran actually hits back to take the Hex itself. Morgana getting a little bit caught up by the Zed, but does pop the stasis to survive, at least for the moment. And now I recall, I'm picking up the stasis of my own because in this match, I'm thinking that, you know, Zed is too big of a problem. We need the stasis to survive Zed. Aside from that, if Tryndamere or Nasus run me down, stasis could come in handy as well. So a fight is breaking out in the mid lane. I'm making my way there with a small detour to pick up the rip buff. And now we have the TX and we really want to push in, you know, low lanes. The mid lane tower is really, really low. But we're not really able to get it. The TX is trying to force it. But I spot Zed on the flank. So here I'm actually playing it safe by walking back. And here Zed gets rooted and finally dies to me for once. And here my face rush. Props, Tryndamere is running down Morgana, gets rooted by her. And I'm pretty sure he has ult here, but he doesn't pop it again. So yeah, on the replay too, you can actually see that is the case. Now here I spot an opportunity. I know I can actually kill both of them here if I do the right thing, which I do. I flash in and ult the Seraphine, and Caitlyn once again decides not to walk out of my ult and gets rooted herself. I think killing Caitlyn would have been a lot closer of a fight if she was not just rooted there. But yeah, we do take her out. My team picks up the dragon, which denies the Ice Soul from the enemy team. So all round just a win, right? We get Baron, we get 4 kills. You know, we get some towers, we get dragon, and this is really the like huge goal swing and huge like swing in the game in general. So in this match, instead of getting Spear or SHOJIN, I actually decided to get Molar Reminder first, because I'm seeing that, you know, Nasus is really a big problem in terms of how tanky he is. So Molar Reminder is going to help out with that a lot. And Seraphine is providing a lot of healing and shielding to the team. You know, I probably should have actually gone for a Serpent's Fang this game, but I kind of didn't. So a little bit of a mess up there, but I probably should have gone for a Serpent's Fang. But yeah, she does a lot of healing and shielding, so I'm thinking anti-heal is going to be good as well. So I'm thinking that, you know what, it's probably better to get Molar Reminder first instead of Spear SHOJIN. So that's exactly, you know, what I'm going to do. And here I actually complete Molar Reminder, giving myself 4 full items. And yeah, so now the game state is relatively even. Now, we have a small goal lead. Overall, even towers, both 5 apiece. Dragons don't really matter because no one has gotten soul. And yeah, it's just going to be whoever wins the next like 1 or 2 team fights will get the next objective. So here enemy team are kind of funding through a choke point, and here I'm just kind of free hitting them. And here's Seraphine. I'm not sure why she's there, but I'm able to basically just get a free kill on her. Now I'm in a spot of bother here, so I'm going to pop the stasis to just delay a little bit of time. And yeah, and my team is actually able to save me here. So I actually survive by the skin of my teeth. And I'm going to just reset and regain my health. My team is definitely winning the fight. We've killed 4 people already. Zed is the last one alive, and we have 4 people alive. Only Brand died, so huge team fight win for us. Zed is now going in. Morgana is trying to help out Darius. Doesn't really work out. Morgana and Zed are now in a huge, intense duel. Now, I didn't go there because I'm thinking that, you know, they're just both going to walk away, which they kind of do. But then Morgana and Zed both kind of go back in on each other again, which is kind of funny. And yeah, they're both like 1 HP at this point, so the fight obviously is going to stop. Now, Baron and Elder are both coming up. Elder is about to come up. So here I'm actually just taking the red buff for myself, and then I'm going to Hex Gate up there to join the Elder fight. And here we're starting out the Elder a little bit, but the enemy team is obviously coming to contest. We're able to one-shot the Zed this time, and we get the root onto Nasus, which transfers on the Seraphine. We get the Nasus killed. Seraphine is now a little bit alone, so Tryndamere is not gonna trying to run me down, but Seraphine is the one who's gonna pay the price for it. Lee Sin unfortunately kicks Tryndamere away from my arrow, and I'm able to eventually kill Tryndamere. Tryndamere didn't pop out again. I actually thought this time he might not have it, because I was thinking if he's getting run down by me, he's gonna pop the ult surely, right? Because I'm killing him slowly. I'm not bursting him down or anything, but no. He has ult, but he doesn't pop it. So he's basically screwed up like at least 3 times by not popping the ulti, which would have made our lives a lot more difficult. So here, I'm pretty much like full resources, like pretty much, and I can't really buy Spear or SHOJIN on recall. So I'm just sticking around and clearing waves while my team is like resetting and stuff, and then we can go from the Baron, because obviously with Elder, enemy team is gonna have a hard time kind of entering the space, because they're gonna get caught with the Elder buff if they try. So this is a free Baron pretty much. Enemy team probably shouldn't be contesting. Now I'm really close to getting Spear or SHOJIN, so I'm trying to ping Brand to give me the wave. Obviously he's not doing that, despite the fact that he's 3 and 12. But yeah, eventually I fight for the wave and get the minions I need myself, and then I'm gonna recall and get the Spirit of Shojin. So it's a little bit late, you know, so we won't really get to see Spirit of Shojin, you know, being that powerful in this game, or don't really get to see exactly what it does in the game. But I mean, we will get to see what it does, but you know, we only for like one fight, right? Because here is like going to be the game-ending fight, where we want to, of course, just trying to end the game. So here I get 2 stacks on Zed. I'm gonna snipe him out. Yeah, I know that that's gonna kill him with the Elder buff, so he made a mistake there, and we are able to eliminate him from the equation. And really, Zed together with Tryndamere is kind of my biggest threat. I mean, Nasus could be a huge threat if he's able to wither me and run me down, but in general, he's not really the biggest problem here. So Seraphine gets taken out as well with my arrow and Morgana's puddle, and leaving only 3 people to defend. Here I'm just auto-attacking the Nasus. I'm trying to get rid of him. There he goes. And Tryndamere is running the wrong direction. He goes down. And now at this point it's just Caitlyn left. And Caitlyn is even buying a GA here. So she can see at this point she only has the components. So I'm thinking like we can go for Caitlyn, and then she actually gets a GA. I'm like, are you serious, man? Like, you already lost the game. You actually bought a GA. So I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. So I flash in with the ulti, get the Shojin proc on her. I mistime it pretty badly. However, I do pop my ghost as well with the Spirit of Shojin movement speed. I'm able to kill her right before the game ends. So we do get that final kill on her just for a bit of extra satisfaction. But with that, I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.